A multi-client eco application example. The application we are going to build can be used for capturing work time and breaks during the work time. The work time can be captured with multiple clients, and the server application provides a view of all the data captured. The client part, you start with setting up a winform eco application. This application shall be the client. I named it WorkTimeClient. You need to have the UML classes in a package so that you can add them later onto the server application. Create the following model. WorkTime and breaktime are specialized classes of a time span. One worktime can have several breaktimes. The operation calcTotal gives back the time span of a worktime reduced by the accumulated timespans of the breaktimes. The result of calcTotal is set in the diff attribute of the WorkTime class. Make sure you alter the classes according to the following code snippets. Function timestartEnd.calcTotal, timespan, begin result equals timespan, self.endTime self.startTime, and function worktime.calcTotal, timespan, var ib, I breaktime list, I, integer, begin ib equals get underscore breaktime, for I equals 0 to ib count 1 do begin self.diff equals self.diff, ib item I.calcTotal, and function breaktime.get underscore diff, timespan, begin // if you add user code here, please remove the eco auto maintained attribute // From the property declaration in the interface section result equals timespan, self_endTime self._startTime, and function worktime.get underscore diff, timespan, begin // if you add user code here, please remove the eco auto maintained attribute // from the property declaration in the interface section result equals timespan, self_endTime, self_startTime, and now compile the application. Go to the EchoSpace Designer and add the package to the EchoSpace. Put a persistence mapper XML component on the EchoSpace so that you can develop the client without need for the server part so far. Set the file name of the persistence mapper to data.xml or whatever suits you well. Switch now to the winform and create a front-end similar to this. Add 2 expression handles and currency manager handles for the data grids. In order to have the last row of the data grid selected, put the following code in the data grids paint event. Procedure twinform.datagrid1_paint, sender, system.object, system.windows.forms.paint event args, begin data grid 1. Binding context data grid 1. Data source data grid 1. Data member. Position equals a worktime. Get list. Count cmh worktime. Position equals a worktime. Get list. Count. And there probably could be smarter places to put it, but I don't know them. Winky face. But please let me know in case you know. For the single client test of the app, you can just assign the update database echo action to the update DB button, whereas in the multi-client setting you need the following code: var c I change begin echo space persistence service retrieve changes. For c in echo space persistence service get changes do. If c is direct conflict, then c action equals change action kind discard else c action equals change action kind keep echo space persistence service apply all changes, and this code retrieves via the echo space persistence service all persisted changes. It could in a multi-client environment happen that somebody changed data that you already had been changing in your local echo space cache. The persistence service gives you the ability to handle arising conflicts if that is the case. IR case, losing work time. It should not happen though. Nevertheless, after you retrieve the changes, you walk via for in loop over them to check if you have a conflict or not. You have to set for every iChange interface in the getChanges list the action to be used when the apply all changes procedure is called. If you finished the client this way, the only thing left to enable it for client server is to change the persistence mapper. We need a persistence mapper client component on our echo space since this is not on the echo component palette by default. We have to add it as follows. Right-click on the tool palette and choose Installed.NET Components from the pop-up menu. Then drag it to the echo category. Delete the persistence mapper XML client from the echo space and drop the persistence mapper client on it. Set the URL property to tcp//localhost 8000/testserver1, since we will have the server and the client running on our local machine before deployment. Save the project and close it or leave it open if you want to have client and server in a project group. Since it won't run as long as we have our server developed, up and running, because the socket the persistence mapper client tries to connect to won't be registered. The server part, create a new echo winform project. I named it Worktime Server. Add the Worktime Classes package and a persistence mapper provider. In our example we use interbase with the BDP. So drop a persistence mapper BDP and a BDP connection component on the persistence mapper provider echo space. Set up the persistence mapper BDP for interbase and configure the connection of the BDP connection according to your local environment. You just have to set up an empty database. The tables will be created later on via the persistence mapper provider. Go to the echo space. Not the persistence mapper provider but the one connected to the winform, and select the WorkTime package from the available packages list. Compile the project and choose the ecospace type to be used for the persistence mapper provider. Click on the surface of the persistence mapper provider and select it from the drop-down list in the Object Inspector. You can now click on the Generate Schema button at the bottom of the eco-persistence mapper provider. The result should look as follows. You now have to uncomment the code for remoting in the persistence mapper provider. Do not forget to uncomment the declaration of the procedure and to add the required implementation uses statement as stated in the comments. // code for registering the provider as a server using // binary formatting on a TCP channel. // add the following to your implementation level uses statement when uncommenting the code // system.runtime.serialization.formatters system.runtime.remoting, system.runtime.remoting.channels, system.runtime.remoting.channels.tcp, class procedure ecopersistence mapper provider.register TCP server, port, integer, var provider, binary server formatter sync provider, props, iDictionary, chan, TCP channel, begin provider equals binary server formatter sync provider.create, provider.type filter level equals type filter level.full / needed for serializations props equals hash table.create, props port equals port, chan equals TCP channel.create, props, nil, provider, channel services.register channel, chan, remoting configuration.register well-known service type, type of, ecopersistence mapper provider, test server 1, well-known object mode.singleton, and, to finish setting up the persistence mapper provider set the attribute sync active to true. You can also increase the value of the attributes max open connections and max pool connections if you have a lot of clients connecting to the server. Now add a persistence mapper client to the echo space. Set the URL property to TCP//localhost 8000/test server 1 or if you changed the register TCP server procedure to the values you supplied there. We have to call the register TCP server component before the persistence mapper client is initialized. To do so, change the constructor of the echo space as follows: constructor t worktime server echo space dot create, begin inherited create, echo persistence mapper provider dot t echo persistence mapper provider dot register tcp server 8000, initialize component / toto, add any constructor code here, and the server part is now already fully functional. To add some insight into the data delivered by our working clients, we create the following frontend. In the timer tick event, you code the persistence service code already known from the client. Procedure twinform.timer1_tick, sender, system.object, system.eventtargs, var c, change, begin echo space dot persistence service dot retrieve changes, for c in echo space dot persistence service dot get changes do. If c dot is direct conflict, then c dot action equals change action kind dot discard, else c dot action equals change action kind dot keep. Echo space dot persistence service dot apply all changes, and set the timer enabled property to true. Save and start the project and detach it from Delphi. Open the client project again. Start the client project, detach it, and start a second client. Change the username in the second client and experiment. It should be working, and it is very easy once achieved. Echo can make you really happy. Please let me know if I missed some important steps for understanding how to do it, or if I did something not best practice like. I will change the article then according to your feedback. The sample code of the server and client can be found here.